I'm Julia Sondu, showing you where development is happening. Please come and join us. On 19th of August 2023, Mali and Burkina Faso send warplanes to Niger in response to potential military intervention. Two countries turn commitments into action by deploying warplanes, says Niger's state television. Mali and Burkina Faso dispatched warplanes Friday to Niger in a show of solidarity against possible military intervention by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. A report aired on Niger's state television highlighted joint efforts by Mali and Burkina Faso in support of Niger and the deployment of warplanes within Niger's borders. Mali and Burkina Faso turned their commitments into concrete action by deploying warplanes to respond to any attack on Niger, it said, noting the planes were Super Tucano fighter jets. During a meeting Friday of the ECOWAS Chief of Staff in Ghana, the date of the impending military intervention in Niger was not disclosed, but the bloc declared that its military forces were ready to intervene as soon as orders were given. Burkina Faso and Mali, both under military leadership, previously released a statement of support for Niger against the planned ECOWAS military operation to alter the course of the coup in Niger. It warned that any intervention would be seen as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. General Abdourahmane Chiani, the former commander of Niger's Presidential Guard, declared himself the head of a transitional government last month after President Mohamed Bazoum was ousted in a military coup. But how did Russian warplanes got into the hands of Malian forces and Burkinabe's military? Well, according to VOA News, August 10, 2022, Mali receives military aircraft from Russia. Mali's military government has received several fighter jets and helicopters from Russia, which has become a close and controversial ally in its fight against Islamist militants. The aircraft were handed over during a ceremony at Bamako's airport, with Malian President Assimi Goïta and Russian Ambassador Igor Gromyko present. Photos of the aircraft were posted to the official presidential Twitter page, with Russian state media RIA saying the delivery consists of Sukhoi Su-25 fighter jets, Il-39 Albatros jets and attack helicopters. Malian Defense Minister Sadio Kamara said in a speech on Malian state TV channel ORTM that an even larger number of aircraft were delivered. "Here we are just showing a part of what was delivered," he says. The rest, of course, are being engaged in operations at the moment that this ceremony is being held. The French army is in the final stages of withdrawing from Mali, after French President Emmanuel Macron announced the withdrawal of forces in February, following increasing tensions with Mali's military government and concerns over Mali working with Russian mercenaries. On 20th January 2023, Mali got more warplanes, helicopters from Russia. Mali's military rulers received more warplanes and helicopters from Russia, the latest in a series of deliveries from its new top military and political ally. 8 planes and 2 helicopters were counted at a ceremony attended by Russian Ambassador Igor Gromyko and the head of Mali's junta, Colonel Assimi Goïta. Mali's military said the shipment included Sukhoi Su-25 attack planes designed to support ground troops, and the Czech-designed Albatros Il-39. Il-39s, while initially designed for training purposes, have also been used as attack aircraft. Bamako also received Mi-8s, a Soviet-designed Russian transport helicopter that, as well as transporting troops and equipment, can be fitted with weapons to defend ground troops. Malian officials did not give a detailed breakdown of how many of each aircraft had been delivered, and while they say they purchased the weapons, they have released no details of the transactions. This is the latest in a series of similar Russian deliveries of military equipment, following others in March and August 2022. The West African country has been fighting a jihadist insurgency as well as a political and humanitarian crisis since 2012. After the colonels currently in power staged their 2020 coup, relations with former colonial power France quickly broke down, and Russia has stepped in to fill the void. Multiple sources say the junta started bringing in paramilitaries from the Russian group Wagner from late 2021, provoking criticism from several countries. The military rulers have denied the allegations, saying it has simply revived long-standing links with Russia and its army. The 17th of March 2023, Mali receives more fighter jets from Russia. The head of the military junta, Colonel Assimi Goïta, handed over the keys of 7 aircraft to the Air Force on Thursday, March 16th. The official handover ceremony of the military aircraft took place at the presidential pavilion of the President Modibo Keïta International Airport in Bamako. It was attended by several personalities including Prime Minister Choguel Maïga, the head of the National Transition Council, Colonel Malik Diaf, the Minister of Defense and Veterans, Colonel Sadio Kamara, and the Russian ambassador to Mali, Igor Gromyko. Since the second putsch in May 2021, rapprochement between Bamako and Moscow has continued. Among the aircraft on display were 4 Russian-made L-39C Albatros light ground combat aircraft, Reg. TZ-10C, TZ-15C, TZ-34C, TZ-36C, and 3 Bayraktar TB2 UAVs from the Turkish company Baykar. These acquisitions could further contribute to the development of the Malian Armed Forces, FARMA. The L-39s are generally used for attack, reconnaissance, and border surveillance missions. They can also be used to support the movement of ground troops. The handover is in addition to the one that took place last January, during which Mali ordered several aircraft from Russia. They include other types of aircraft such as Su-25s, a Mi-24P attack helicopter, a Mi-8 transport helicopter, and a single Airbus C-295 tactical transport aircraft, some of which the Malian authorities have been taking delivery of since March 2022. Most of this equipment has been delivered by Russia, but the authorities have not communicated the cost. Now you have known where Mali and Burkina Faso are getting their strength from. Russia's growing footprint in Africa's Sahel region. The war in Ukraine has not stopped Russia's activities in Africa. Over the past year, the Wagner Group, in particular, has taken advantage of France's and other Western countries' worsening relations with Sahelian states. Despite Russia's military struggles in Ukraine, Moscow has not cut back its ambitions in the global south. Over the past year, Russia has doubled down its focus on Africa's Sahel region, a troubled part of the continent that spreads roughly from Senegal to the Red Sea. Through the infamous Wagner mercenary group, Moscow is inserting itself in countries such as Mali and Burkina Faso and is taking advantage of Western policy missteps, growing anti-European sentiment. Mali-Russia relations. In November 2022, Russia was committed to send shipments worth around $100 million to Mali, including 60,000 tons of petroleum products, 30,000 tons of fertilizer, and 25,000 tons of wheat, according to Minister of Economy and Finance Olusegun Sanu. In February 2023, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met Malian military junta leaders to ensure his country's support to Mali. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and greetings and salutations to Achim upon the testimony of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, in truth and sincerity. So you saw it, and it's written. This is the book of Revelations, the 20th chapter and the 8th verse. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. And that's what we see taking place via the transfer of military attack helicopters, military airplanes, attack fighter jets, of different variations and of different numbers, coming from Russia to Mali, and of course the financing of an allocation of different weaponry to Burkina Faso as well. But we can harp heavily on Mali. Indeed, of course we have Russian helicopters in we have Russian helicopters in Niger right now via Mali. And that's just a part of Russia being a garden to the nations. It's a part of biblical prophecy, Ezekiel the 38th chapter, and Revelations the 20th chapter. What we're reading, it says to gather them to the battle. What battle are the nations being gathered to fight on the side of Russia? The battle of World War III, the battle of Armageddon. Excuse me. And you have to understand. A lot of people, they don't understand the meaning of Armageddon. They think Armageddon, nuclear, just nuclear fire. This and no, Armageddon in the Hebrew, it's a Hebrew word. It's Greek. You read it from the Greek because it's in the New Testament, but it's actually a Hebrew word. All right, which has been spoken of in Joel the 2nd chapter. It's been spoken of throughout the scriptures. But anyway, Armageddon is a Hebrew word, which is Har Magadwan. Har meaning mountain, Ma meaning of or pertaining to, and God means troop. God one is like a plural way of saying troops. So mountain of troops or multitude of troops, multitude of soldiers. So that's what Russia is gathering the sons of Mali, who are Israelites, that have been gathered. The different nations of the earth who are aligned with Russia, the Ethiopians, the Eritreans, Somalians, the Libyans, the Nigerians. All this is going to be for a purpose of Armageddon. A lot of people can't see it because geostrategically they're just thinking about their interests, but it's going to lead them to something bigger. It says, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right. So let's go to Shalaki. I hope that didn't cut the video. Anyway, let's keep going. I mentioned the book of Joel, so why don't we go to it? This is the book of Joel. Since we're talking about Mountain of Troops, and we'll go to Obadiah after. That's actually where I wanted to go. But let's just go to Joel. Let's go to Joel, the 2nd chapter. Is it the 3rd chapter that I'm looking for? Let me see. Blow to trumpets, sanctify, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, elders. I think it's this. I actually think it's the 3rd chapter. All right. So let's go. Let's flip the page. Pardon me. Yep, it's the 3rd chapter, and let's go to the let's go to Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And the Gentiles are a representation of the heathen nations. But I'm going to hit you with this. Our brethren, our ethnic brothers of Mali, our fraternal brothers of Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Benin, so on and so forth. They are also Gentiles as well, even though they're ethnic Israelites, but they're Gentiles because they conduct themselves after the fashion of the flesh. They conduct themselves after the ways of the heathen. What are they doing? They're practicing Islam or Christianity. Those are ways of the heathens. We are not, we don't practice Christianity. We believe in the Bible. We really do believe in the Bible. We actually really do believe in all the prophets. This is not just talking points for us. And but see, Islam, Christianity, they don't. They really don't believe in the prophets. They don't know the Bible. Because remember, the 3 years and a half, it wasn't prophesied that it would come out of Africa. It came out of America. The prophets, the Lord put the Holy Spirit on his man in slavery in America. And from us, people in Africa can be informed and enlightened. From us, people in, the Arabias, the people in Asia, through the men of Great Millstone, and not to downplay any the labors of other camps, but it's just they don't give the 100% truth. And when we see the other individuals popping up internationally as Israelites, they're not talking about other camps. They're giving credit to Great Millstone. So it just shows the power of the Holy Spirit. It says, prepare war, and that's what we saw with those, those fighter jets, you know, those various fighter jets that Mali has received from Russia. It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. And who are the mighty men? Abraham Troy is a mighty man. The different man of uh what's my man name in Niger? Abdul Rahmani. That's a mighty man. All those men in West Africa, those are very mighty men. And the other heathen nations, the Taliban, a mighty man. You know, the what are these guys? The Poles, they're mighty men. They're being waking up. They're not. You can't just go eat you some goddamn corn in Poland. No, nigga, you about to go to war. You better prepare your border. There's Wagner's at the border. So the mighty men are being awakened. All nations have mighty men. Every nation have mighty men. All right. Every ethnic nation has mighty man. And they're being waken up for this day, for this hour. It says, let all the men of war draw near, let them come down, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And that's what Mali's doing. That's what Burkina Faso's doing. That's what Niger's doing. They told them folks, they said, ECOWAS is not going to be the walk in the park that you think it is. Yeah. Why? Because the weak is saying I'm strong. Because it won't be the walk in the park. They're not just going to come up against some coalition of the tri nations. No, they're going to come up against tens upon tens of millions of men, military age men, ready to crash out for their nation and for their cause. It will be a disaster. It will be a debacle if Nigeria and ECOWAS invade Niger. I don't give a damn about what military aid you getting from America and France. You gonna lose. You can't fight against no goddamn 20 million men. Between Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, which they will be fighting as one organ, one body. Between them, they can easily, and I've calculated this is a generous number. They can easily put 20 million men on the field to fight. 20 million willing and able men to fight. It can be more. Let us not mention other countries like Algeria and things of that nature. But just between Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, you're gonna have to fight against at least 20 million men. I'm serious. If you invade that land, you're gonna have to at least fight against 20 million. Your 200,000, your 300,000 ECOWAS soldiers is not gonna do it. It's gonna turn into a total war. You're not going to be able to sustain a military campaign against a country that's waging the war against you in totality. All of the human resource, everything is going towards the military campaign in the country. You're gonna lose. It's gonna be a AK-47 behind every goddamn shack in Niger. They go, it's gonna be a grenade. It's gonna be a tank destroyer. It's gonna be a Humvee destroyer behind every goddamn uranium uranium deposit in Mali. It's gonna be pardon me, in Niger. It will be, you're gonna lose. You really are gonna lose. But that ain't even the bigger picture, because the nations are being gathered together with Russia to fight in World War III. This will be World War III, but it's gonna be even worse than what you expect. That's the point. Is it says, and that will be the end of Nigeria. That will be the end of all of your little puppet governments. You're going to be destroyed if you invade Nigeria. The catastrophic repercussions and consequences will be immeasurable. And ultimately, that's what's going to take place. Verse 12, it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, Jehoshaphat is the same thing of as Armageddon. All right, that's the same thing, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which is the valley of judgment, the valley of the Lord's judgment, Yahweh's judgment. It says, for there will I judge the heathen round about, the valley of decision. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. I mean, the angels put in the sickle, which ultimately the Lord's wrath is. It's time for the Lord to bring forth His wrath. That's what it's saying. It says, come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, all your wickedness. It says, for their wickedness is great. It says multitudes, multitudes, showing you this is talking about Armageddon, Harmageddon, all right, mountain of troops, which mountain also means multitudes. It means many, abundance, great, mountains of truth. That's what Armageddon means. It says multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. And that's Gog and Magog is going to gather them together. We just read that in the Revelation, the 20th chapter. Russia is going to gather these nations together to fight in World War III, which I believe, World War III has already started. The climax will indeed be in Jehoshaphat, in the Valley of Decision, but the actuality of the war is already started. You know, it's already started. With that invasion of Ukraine, consider World War II. It didn't start in Stalingrad. It started when the Germans and the Soviets split up Poland. And so, in the same fashion, it has already started when the Russians have invaded Ukraine, and the Ukrainians have been assided by the West. So World War III has already started. All right, and it's going to increase. It's going to wax. It says, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. It says, Yahweh shall roar out of Zion and shall utter his voice from Jerusalem. And that's the elect man of the nation of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, of course, scattered abroad, whether you be in Niger, whether you be in Mali, whether you be in America, whether you be in South America, whether you be in Czechoslovakia, whether you be in Suriname, whether you be in Rome, whether you be in France, whether you be in Russia, whether you be in China, whether you be in Indonesia, whether you be in South Africa, whether you be in Nigeria, whether you be in Libya, whether you be in Iraq, whether you be in Iran, whether you be in China, whether you be in Pathros, whether you be in Havilah. See, it doesn't matter where we are. The voice of Yahweh is going to roar from the Holy Spirit of those men. It says, "In the heavens of the earth shall shake." How the heavens and the earth are going to shake? Via missiles. A lot of them be thermonuclear. And also the heavens going into the hierarchy, the status quo of the society. They're going to be shaken out of place. It says, see what it says. It says, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. See, showing that the Lord is dealing with us, man. It says, so shall ye know that I am Yahweh, your God, dwelling in Zion. I mean, he dwells within the people of God, which are Israelites. Zion is not talking about that landmass where they use as a damn museum and a touristic site in the city of David, where these assholes are making money off of our land. That's not talking about Zion. We are Zion. All right, we are Zion. The people of God are Zion. Zion means memorial or monument. All right, and we are the Lord's memorial. It also means shining place. Scripture says, "Ye are the light of the earth." It's not talking about the land. It's talking about the people. Anyway, continue on. It says, "My holy mountain." The holy mountain meaning my holy nation. All right. Zion is speak of the nation of Israel. It says, then shall Jerusalem be holy. So then shall Jerusalem be holy. When the Lord roars from his people, when he delivers his people. Right now, Jerusalem is not holy. Right now, Jerusalem is being trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And all these heathens worshiping all different gods. You got people worshiping Allah. You got people worshiping the cross, Christianity. You got people worshiping themselves. You got atheists. You got sodomites. You got pedophiles. That's not holy. That's wicked. That's evil and that's nasty. And you're going to lose. They're going to be destroyed by missiles. It's okay. It says, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Right now, strangers, it's a fucking tourist site. In the kingdom of heaven, Jerusalem won't be a touristic site. It'll be our citadel, god damn it. And the heathens will never be able to step through it. And in that day, greatness will be great. And when I say greatness will be great, well, because we are great, the Israelites, we are great, and we will actually be able to manifest our full potential, and it's really beautiful. But before I get out of here, let's go to Ezekiel. We got to. We talking about Russia. We talking about Gog and Magog. We talking about the nations being aligned with them, biblical prophecy. So we got to go to the book of Ezekiel. You don't have any choice in this matter. It has to be spoken of. Ezekiel the 38th chapter. I probably go through it. I probably go to Ezekiel the 38th chapter more than man, more than most chapters of the Bible. Because that's just what we're living in. This is living right now. This is taking place. This is the hot pocket. This is the hot prophecy right now. Russia aligning with nations, or nations aligning with Russia rather, and being supplied by Russia and protected by Russia. So this is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel the 38th chapter, verse 1. It says, "And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God and the land of Magog." So the land of Magog is speaking of Russia. It's not talking about the actual people who descend from the Japhites of Gog. Those people don't live in that vicinity anymore. Or if they do, they don't rule it. And those people have been pushed out for the most part. The people who live there are Edomites who migrated there. Okay, Russians. All right, these guys who migrated into that land, they took over not Jerusalem. They took over what's that city? God damn it. They took what was it, 1612? I believe they took over Moscow in 1612 from us. We Israelites had ruled the landmass of Russia for several hundred years. Yeah, as I was saying, Israelites ruled Russia for about 800 years during the Dark Ages. When you deal with the Rukik dynasty, the original Rus, where you get Russia from, those are Israelites. But of course, in 1612, during the Black Plague, where it killed off it killed off most of our population, and it caused migration, and that's when the Edomites in 1612 they took over Russia. All right, that's how the history went down, and a lot of us went into slavery too. See, I don't talk about this, but when you look at Russian icons, you see it. When you look at the archaeology, you see it. When you check the records, you see it. And a lot of people are just misinformed. A lot of people are stupid too. I'm gonna continue to read. It says, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog," which Magog is meaning mountain, pertaining to mountain. That's a Hebrew word, Magog, which means of a mountain, which is talking about a nation, a great nation. A mountain represents like a big nation. That's what Russia. Russia's the biggest country on the earth. It says, "The chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee." See, the Lord is against Russia. "Oh God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal." So this should be a reminder to the sons of Mali and the sons of Burkina Faso and the beloved sons of Niger. You are Israelites, but you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose bad if you join on to Russia. The Lord is against Russia. So if you align with Russia, you're against the Lord. Another thing, you leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, what's up with the jab? Why are you allowing your people to take the JAB, the scene? You know what I'm talking about. Do I have to speak French to you? Why are you allowing your people to take that? All right. Also, furthermore, the Charagma is about to push. Are you going to allow your people to take the charagma? All right. Are you? And that's Greek for you. I know you speak French, but that's Greek. I can't say it in English because they compromise our videos. But why are you allowing your people to take the mark? And your translator should be able to attest to that. Why are you allowing your people? Because it hasn't come out yet, but they're gonna push this. They're gonna make you take the MOTB, the mark of the BEAST, and that is that device. And if you're a leader of these countries, what are you gonna do when you can't feed your countries? Are you gonna trust in the Lord, or are you gonna have the people take the charagma? See, that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of you guys got decisions to make. It says, "And I will turn thee back," meaning he's going to bring them back from the fall of the Soviet Union, "and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen." It's talking about military arsenal, all of them clothed, drones, things of that nature, clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, missile defense system, S-300, S-400, S-500s, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, see? Persia, Ethiopia. So that's also going to include Eritrea, which we know is a stern ally of Russia, as well as the Iranians, who are the Persians, and Libya. And we know Russia has heavy interest in Libya with them. So whoever side that's backed by Russia and Libya, that's the side that's going to win. It says, now we know this VC. That's how we know these things through prophecy. Like, oh, who's gonna win that war? Well, according to the biblical prophecy, the side that's aligned with Russia. So it says, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer. Gomer is speaking of Turkey. Is Turkey not a stern ally of Russia? They are. They have their own interests that contradict sometimes, but they're allies. All right. That's why Mali just received three attack drones from Turkey in the deal, in the package that they got with Russia. So Turkey is an ally of Russia. They're gonna fight in the Third World War with Russia, not with America. The Turks hate Americans anyway, and they hate Europeans anyway. It says Gomer and all his bands. It says in the house of Togarmah, all the bands of Gomer are Turkmenistan, is Azerbaijan, is the different ethnic Turk nations and tribes. They're gonna fight on behalf and on the side of Turkey. That's what it's talking about. All right. It says Uzbekistan, things, these guys. All right. It says house of Togarmah and north quarters. It said in all of his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and be prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company. And that's going to include these different nations, Mali, South Africa, these other different nations as well. All right. It says, thou and thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. So that's what Russia is supposed to be doing via Wagner. Wagner's in Africa right now, being a guard unto these nations. This is biblical prophecy. It's simply biblical prophecy. That's all it is. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh Shem Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, but honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and salutation. Shalom, keep the faith. Yeah, as I was saying, Israelites ruled Russia for about 800 years during the Dark Ages. When you deal with the Rukik dynasty, the original Rus, where you get Russia from, those are Israelites. But of course, in 1612, during the Black Plague, where it killed off it killed off most of our population, and it caused migration, and that's when the Edomites in 1612 they took over Russia. All right, that's how the history went down, and a lot of us went into slavery too. See, I don't talk about this, but when you look at Russian icons, you see it. When you look at the archaeology, you see it. When you check the records, you see it. And a lot of people are just misinformed. A lot of people are stupid too. I'm gonna continue to read. It says, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog," which Magog is meaning mountain, pertaining to mountain. That's a Hebrew word, Magog, which means of a mountain, which is talking about a nation, a great nation. A mountain represents like a big nation. That's what Russia. Russia's the biggest country on the earth. Um, it says the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee." See, the Lord is against Russia. Oh God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So this should be a reminder to the sons of Mali and the sons of Burkina Faso and the beloved sons of Niger. You are Israelites, but you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose bad if you join on to Russia. You know, the Lord is against Russia. So if you align with Russia, you're against the Lord. Another thing, you leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, what's up with the jab? Why are you allowing your people to take the JAB, the the scene? You know what I'm talking about. Do I have to speak French to you? Why you why are you allowing your people to take that? All right. Also, furthermore, the charagma is about to push. Are you going to allow your people to take the charagma? All right. Are you? And that's Greek for you. I know you speak French, but that's Greek. I can't say it in English because they compromise our videos. But why are you allowing your people to take the MARK? And your translator should be able to attest to that. Why are you allowing your people? Because it hasn't come out yet, but they're gonna push this. They're gonna make you take the MOTB, the MARK of the BEAST, and that is that device. And if you're a leader of these countries, what are you gonna do when you can't feed your countries? Are you gonna trust in the Lord, or are you gonna have the people take the charagma? See, that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of you guys got decisions to make. It says, "And I will turn thee back," meaning he's going to bring them back from the fall of the Soviet Union, "and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen." It's talking about military arsenal, all of them clothed, drones, things of that nature, clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, missile defense system, S-300, S-400, S-500s, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, see? Persia, Ethiopia. So that's also going to include Eritrea, which we know is a stern ally of Russia, as well as the Iranians, who are the Persians, and Libya. And we know Russia has heavy interest in Libya with them. So whoever side that's backed by Russia and Libya, that's the side that's going to win. It says, now we know this VC. That's how we know these things through prophecy. Like, oh, who's gonna win that war? Well, according to the biblical prophecy, the side that's aligned with Russia. So it says, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer. Gomer is speaking of Turkey. Is Turkey not a stern ally of Russia? They are. They have their own interests that contradict sometimes, but they're allies. All right. That's why Mali just received three attack drones from Turkey in the deal, in the package that they got with Russia. So Turkey is an ally of Russia. They're gonna fight in the Third World War with Russia, not with America. The Turks hate Americans anyway, and they hate Europeans anyway. It says Gomer and all his bands. It says in the house of Togarmah, all the bands of Gomer are Turkmenistan, is Azerbaijan, is the different ethnic Turk nations and tribes. They're gonna fight on behalf and on the side of Turkey. That's what it's talking about. All right. It says Uzbekistan, things, these guys. All right. It says house of Togarmah and north quarters. It said in all of his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and be prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company. And that's going to include these different nations, Mali, South Africa, these other different nations as well. All right. It says, thou and thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. So that's what Russia is supposed to be doing via Wagner. Wagner's in Africa right now, being a guard unto these nations. This is biblical prophecy. It's simply biblical prophecy. That's all it is. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh Shem Al Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, but unto the elders and apostles, great millstone, and salutation. Shalom, keep the faith.